Okay, let's look at 4.2.15. Chapter 4.2 has to do with least squares regression equations, and then using those equations to make predictions. And so in this case, we have an equation, a least squares regression equation that looks at, has two variables. Y is the husband age minus the wife age, and the literacy rate is X of the percent of the population that is literate. So some connection between the age difference in husband and wives and the literacy rate. So here's your equation. Remember what those variables represent, and this model or this least squares regression is only good for 16 to 100, meaning that we're only looking at literacy rates from 16% to 100%, because that's what the variable is. And so in this case, you have the answer to the first one. What's the slope? The slope, it's a negative, which means there's a decrease in the age, right? And so as we increase the literacy rate by 1%, the age difference falls. It decreases. Remember, a slope is y over x, the difference in y divided by the difference in x. And then you answer question B, what's the y-intercept mean? In this case, it doesn't mean anything because a y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. When the x value is 0, that's when we have a y-intercept, but at x equals 0 is outside the scope of our equation or model. And then make a prediction, the age difference between husband and wife when the literacy rate is 29%, round to 1 decimal place. So in this case, we're just going to take 29% and 29 for the x value and substitute it into that equation there. And so when you substitute it into there, into that equation, you have negative 0.0565 times 29. Let's double check that. Times 29. Close that off, and then it was plus 7.7. And then you can see we get 0.60615 to 1 decimal place. That would be 6.1, which is what we get here. 6.1 years would be the average difference rate between husband and wife. For a country is 29%. Would it make sense to predict the age difference for literacy rate 9%? Answer again is no. It's outside the scope of the model. What if you had a literacy rate in a country of 98%? And the age difference is between two husbands and wives is 2 years. And so instead of 29, I want to put 98 in there, and you get 2.163. So again, the more literate a country is, it seems like husband and wives are similar in age. The less literate, there's a wider difference in age between the husband and wife. And since it was the literacy rate is 2 years, is this age difference above or below the average? And again, and this is below the average, right? Because 2 is smaller than what we would have predicted, which was 2.2. Right here, when we round it, 2.2. And so that's where you're getting that answer from, because we substitute 98 into the equation there. And then 2 is below. So again, this is the actual value. This is the predicted value. And so remember, the equation is a prediction of what we think might happen in reality.